Hey y'all, it's April 19th, 2016, and as you know, the nation is in turmoil, right? It's an epidemic of people working in bakeries who are maliciously destroying the lives of homosexuals.
It is the number one worst problem, even above global warming, is the outright lynching, uh, basically a lynching via baked goods of homosexuals here in America. Right? I wanted to upload a video. I was just about to do it on the internet, and I got sidetracked. First of all, fuck you, Facebook. You keep sidetracking me, and I don't appreciate that. They like to throw out what they deem as news to me. It's not. Sometimes it distracts me. Right? And this is what they threw at me. There's a what do we call him? LGBTQIIA friendly preacher up there in Austin. He has not read the Bible yet, probably. He's working on that, probably. Right? He went to a bakery, a Whole Foods market, a Whole Foods, which, as you can imagine, is very trendy friendly. It's a very trendy friendly place. Probably the most trendy friendly place on earth, probably. Okay, Whole Foods market. And according to him, what happened is this: he ordered a cake. Cake that he ordered was supposed to say "Love Wins," which was a hashtag which honestly died out a long time ago. I mean, that's an old hashtag. But it's a cake that said "Love Wins." It was a small cake. There's a picture of the cake. Picked it up. He said what happened was this: he picked up the cake, paid money for the cake, did not bother looking at the cake. We'll touch on that later. Did not bother looking at the cake. Took it to his car, shuffled off to his car, looked in his car, and said, "Oh man, this cake it's calling me a fag. This cake is calling me a fag." And he got his feelings hurt, and he asked for some sort of recourse. Took the cake back to Whole Foods, and they said, what? I don't know how or why this says this. All right, but we're gonna get to the bottom of this. All right. According to the story, Jordan Brown, he waited 3 days for them to give him sort of recourse. And when they failed to do so, what he did was, like, as you can imagine, what he would do is sue them for money. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bet that the cake probably cost him around 20 bucks. All right, knowing that's from a Whole Foods, probably cost about 30 bucks. Instead of him just taking a loss, what he did is he said, "I'm gonna sue you for hating on me through my baked goods." I want you to let that sink in. Because this is not the first time that this happened. Now it's happening over and over and over and over again. Alright, as this is sinking in, here's what I want to tell you. I know in my gut, in my bones, that evidence is going to come out, but I don't even need no evidence. This preacher is a goddamn liar. And I meant to say goddamn. He is an outrageous, just maybe sociopathic liar. He's out to look for attention. That's what he wanted. Some of that attention, baby, some of that publicity, some of that money involved. He wants some of that money, and he don't care who he's got to run over to get it. So what he did was he wrote "fag" in icing on his own cake. Took it back to Whole Foods. He didn't even do it good. You've seen the picture. He didn't even do a good job of it. Wrote "fag" on his own cake. Took it back to Whole Foods Market. Went ahead, sued them, and he's trying to get all sort of publicity for it. He's trying to say everybody's hating on him. There's many ways to know that he's lying about this. Number one is this. First of all, either you're a liar, you never read the Bible, that's obvious, or you're a retard. You're a straight up and down retard. You're retarded. You're as retarded as the day is long. Right? For anyone who is too lazy, too worthless, too incompetent to be able to bake your own cake, it's not hard. When you buy a cake and you want something written on it, in icing, what you do is when you pay money for it, even before you give them money, say, "Hey, can I see that cake? I want to make sure that everything's written on it exactly how I told you before I give you money for it." Right? That is the protocol. There's no getting around that. If you don't do that, you are straight up and down retarded. You are not fit to be walking the earth. Alright? But this preacher has so much love in his heart that he didn't even decide. He said, "Hey, I ordered a cake." And they say, "Hey, here's the cake." And he said, here's money. I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to not even look at it, carry it in my arms all the way back to the car, and do God knows what with it. and then take it back to you when I think that it said look, it says fag on it. See, you're bad. You're a bad person. All right, so we're establishing that this preacher is either a sociopathic liar or he's an out and out retard. One or the other. Now, I'm not saying it's illegal to be either one of those. I kind of frown on both of those. But let's say that you're a retard. All right, and you actually did that. You actually paid money for a cake that you didn't even bother to look at with your eyeballs. I mean, it had a see-through window so you could see it. It's not like it was covered. All right, so maybe you did that. All right, if you had testicles, at that point, what you would do is you would go back to Whole Foods Market. You would say, hey, listen, I got this cake, paid some money for it. I don't care about the money. I want to know who oversaw this cake. What I want to do is take him in the back, punch him in the nose. Because fuck him, he fucked my cake over. I'm going to have to go and either take the icing off the cake or I'm going to have to bake my own cake at this point. So I'm going to punch him in the nose, and then that's going to be it. We're gonna squash the beef. In no way is it acceptable for you to sue Whole Foods Market, which is ran by an unthinkable number of people, simply because what one person might have done to your cake. The thing is, you're a liar. Right? The thing is, there's nothing that you won't do. There's no kind of sin that you won't do for fame and attention and some of that money, baby. Mr. Jordan Brown. Right? And then, I mean, shoot, if there wasn't enough evidence that you're a damn liar, a retarded liar. Turns out the person who did your cake, well, they happen to be in the LGBTQIA community as well. So why would they write that on your shit? They wouldn't. And in fact, nobody would. Who would risk their job just to call you a fag on your cake? Don't make sense. Alright, I'm gonna finish this up, but I want to show you, in case you don't have the patience to look at the article, and I don't blame you for that. Alright, I want to take you to what Jordan Brown's attorney, Austin Kaplan, said. Alright, see, here's the thing. What we have to assume is that you are so retarded, you are so incompetent, you are so lazy, you are so good for nothing, that you don't know how to bake a cake, or you don't know any person who knows how to bake a cake for you. Right? But somehow you do know how to pick up the phone and get on the phone with your attorney and sue people. That is what you do know how to do. But you can't take flour and egg and sugar and stuff and mix it up. No, you cannot do that. But you can't sue people. So let's take a listen real quick. This is Austin Kaplan. Right? He said, this is a quote from him. He said, Pastor Brown never asked for this to happen. Oh, really? He continues to be overwhelmed by the feelings, this is a quote, of pain and anguish and humiliation because of the incident, said Kaplan. All right, let's take this in the context. All right. This is a pastor who has either never read the Bible or pretty much refutes the Bible. Talking about the pain and anguish and humiliation that he faced because fag was written on a cake. This person who supposedly worships Jesus. Right, talking about pain and anguish and humiliation. I don't know if you ever seen the Passion of the Christ. I don't know if you ever seen that last part of the Bible and stuff. Okay, the pastor is talking about pain and anguish and humiliation because the word fag was allegedly written on a cake. The tribulation is that's what I covered. All right, and it goes even further. Okay, he frequently shopped at Whole Foods, which makes this all the more shocking and disappointing. Yes, it does make it shocking because you're lying. What really concerns him is knowing that unless some action is taken, this kind of thing could happen again, and that someone else might have to go through a similarly excruciating experience. All right, he ain't never read the Bible. Either that or he refutes it. You gotta understand, as a Christian, if you're a true Christian, you're gonna go through some excruciating experiences. The word tribulation, I did not make that up. That is not a word I made up in my head. All right, he said, at an afternoon press conference held yesterday, Brown, who is black, said, all right, and this is a quote, saying fag, this is a quote from Jordan Brown, saying fag is the same as calling me a nigger. And that's what Jordan Brown said. That's not my words. All right. However, I can tell you right now that I've heard gay people call themselves fags to each other. Heard black people, if you're going to call them black, call themselves niggers to each other. All right. You're a socialist, communist, retarded, lazy, good for nothing piece of garbage who calls himself a pastor and refutes the Bible at the same time. And you're trying to accuse Whole Foods Market of writing fag on your cake because you cannot bake a cake, because you're too retarded to bake a cake. Right. Instead of punching someone in the nose, what you do is you go to press conferences and you sue all sort of people who had nothing to do with the situation. Right? The end. This is tribulation. I already spent more time than I wanted to. But it's going to continue. Why? Because of tribulation. You can't stop, won't stop. Alright? I hope this was a learning experience for y'all. Anyways, I'm done. It's April 19th, 2016.